Hello, everybody. This is Josephine Patricia. I wanted to go live and introduce myself a little bit to PsyChicks. I'm new. This is my first week in the community. I've gotten a chance to meet several of you through some mini readings on the directory, but I thought I would jump on and introduce myself a little bit more intentionally so you can get to know a little bit about who I am. But I identify as a soul rewilding coach, and I live out here in the Pacific Northwest, Washington State, in the coastal areas. I'm the host of the Rewilding the Mythic Self podcast, and I have a strong background in particular with academia, working in healthcare. I've been working in the field as a clinical occupational therapist for the past 10 years. But lately, I've been turning a lot to folk mysticism practices and ancestry work, as well as therapeutic arts, as a way of reclaiming some autonomy as a very sensitive person, particularly from toxic work environments, maybe the high pressure or like constrictive environment. It could be even your home, it could be your school, it could be different church settings that prompt you to contort your full magical expressive self into something that's more contained, more palatable. I really want to design my services to support what I call institutional people pleasers. I happen to be neurodivergent. I was born with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder and nonverbal learning disability that went undiagnosed most of my life. And from that, I've navigated over 16 different schools across 3 different states, each of which that required me to become a shapeshifter and to really contort myself, which caused me to get confused even about who I was and why I was doing things. And for a long time, I repressed my right brain, my more feminine and creative side, for on the altar of science. I created myself to be more rigid and more logical and linear, and really focusing mostly just on the sciences, a bit to the detriment of my soul, and finding balance between those things. So utilizing folk art and mystic practices and therapeutic arts, along with ancestral work intentionally, has been really key to me finding a sense of belonging and safety outside of institutions that often we can outgrow. So I'm really interested in holding space, especially for neurodivergent mystics, those that identify as intuitive misfits who have never quite felt quite at home in most formal, normalized spaces, and connecting to this idea that we can co-create our own folklore together that feels nourished, soul aligned, and that we can rewild it so it can be something that grows with you as your own sovereign being. My story is one of getting perpetually heartbroken by putting my faith into different types of institutions that later on would get shattered in some kind of disappointment. But the benefit of that was also then finding a connection to my own power and learning how to put faith in myself and what we can create as humans when we come together collaboratively, and even from a secular standpoint, seek to understand, celebrate, and bring out the best in each other. And that's really what I'm hoping to cultivate and share here in partnership here with PsyChicks. I work with highly sensitive cycle breakers and institutional people pleasers who are ready to reclaim their energy and creative power from toxic systems so they can create, lead in alignment with their soul. I grew up with undiagnosed ADHD and nonverbal learning disability across 3 different states and 16 different schools for years. So I felt like the Little Mermaid. I silenced my own voice to belong to systems that really didn't see me. I moved through 23 years of education and a decade in healthcare, always doing the right thing, but feeling disconnected from my own creativity and intuition. My turning point came when I realized that my intuition, creativity, and ancestral connections weren't flaws, they were my compass. And that's why I'm here today, creating spaces for others to connect with theirs. My unique gifts live at the crossroads of ancestral wisdom, trauma-informed practices, intuitive readings, and co-creating liberatory folklore. I use tarot, runes, and oracle cards as mirrors that weave together through trauma-informed coaching and ancestral reconnection practices. These tools don't predict your life, but they help you hear your own inner truth more clearly and reclaim the stories that you want to live by. One of my biggest lessons I've learned is that healing and power reclamation don't happen inside of rigid systems. They happen in safe, creative, hierarchical spaces where we can unravel people pleasing, perfection, and fear and step into visibility and sovereignty with bravery. This is what my work is about, creating these spaces for rewilding. My mission is simple: to help recovering high achievers, sensitive leaders, and intuitive misfits stop giving their power away to broken systems and reclaim it through soul-led creativity, ancestry, and community. Right now, I'm offering mini intuitive readings that are short and powerful for guidance through the PsyChicks directory. I have full readings currently 50% off for the first 10 PsyChicks that book this month. And if what I'm saying resonates, I'd love to connect you to on a free one-on-one rewilding inquiry session. This is market research that's helping in designing an upcoming coaching program to be of highest service to this community. I'm also starting next Sunday trauma-informed art circles. So I'm excited to share that next Sunday I'll be hosting the first trauma-informed art group. This is a free monthly circle every third Sunday. We're going to try out the time of 2 p.m. this coming Sunday, where we'll weave together art, ancestry, and alchemy to reclaim personal power and agency. There's no art experience needed, just a willingness to explore, create, come as you are. It's space to reconnect with your body, your heart, your soul, your lineage, and that inner fire. So if you're ready to reclaim your voice, energy, and creativity, here's how we can connect. Feel free to book a free or mini reading, grab a spot for the free rewilding inquiry session. Join me next Sunday for the first trauma-informed art circle. Feel free to drop a comment or DM me. I have links in my bio and in the comments below. If you are interested in ancestral work and wanting to get more of a primer of that, I have a free ancestral alchemy toolkit available both in the directory and on my website posted below. I'd love to hear from you, especially if you've ever felt like you're too much in systems that were never built for your brilliance, because together we're not just healing, we're rewilding. Thank you so much.